Why can't I do this?
Oh, you video it?
Yeah.
Remember, your air from your turbine's coming up through here,
Mm-hmm.
goes into this, comes down through this, into that, which puts pressure in this, it forces the paint through here to come out to here. The reason I'm telling you that is because this thing has to always be pointed down in the direction of the airflow.
Question. So have y'all ever seen HGH do that? They put some doors on the top and then put this and then wrote that.
Oh, it's because it's 2 orders in one. Is that Kirkwood?
Yes.
It's 2 orders in one, but it's the same client. But they need to be separate because one's an upstairs unit and one's a downstairs unit.
Okay, so I need to separate what was on top of
They
this.
need to be separate, but it's the same color.
So, in other words, your air is moving this way, and the reason that's pointed like that is to show you which way it goes.
Okay.
So that's that.
The reason this is black, you say, so that you know it's going down.
No, I'm saying the reason it's pointed. See, it's like an arrow.
Oh, I got you.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because some of them are all white. See that?
Okay.
It has nothing to do with
It's the arrow part of it. Arrow points down.
Okay. Right, so let's dismantle this thing. All right.
Damn.
Okay.
This is just way more than the other one.
Huh?
This is way more than the other one.
Oh, yeah. It sure is. Okay. All right, now that's breaking down that gun pretty much complete, except for this right here, because I can't get that nut loose.
Okay.
But I would like to be able to get that nut loose so I can break this down and clean it. Okay. All right. So that's basically your gun. The first thing I do is, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little nylon piece in there, right? And I'm not going to pull it out because I'll destroy it doing it. But these are the rebuilding kits when you have to rebuild a gun. Those are your rebuilding kits. Those things are $50. Believe it or not. It's about 10 cents worth of nail iron. But we pay $50 for those. And that's your rebuilding kit. Okay? Right. This little piece right here, that right there is what's down in there. Alright? And the way it goes in, you see how you got that little end cap that like it would fit in a hole? And that's like a plunger up top. You see what I'm talking about? Okay. So it goes in this way so that that little piece right there can fit into the hole. Boom. And the easiest way I found to do it, well, I'll get to that in a minute. All right. So if we were going to rebuild it, the first thing I would do, well, then you got these. All right, see, that's these two pieces right there. Right there. I put the thinner one in first, with the bigger one in second, and it snaps right in. There's a top and a bottom to that. If you try and put it in upside down, it's not going to hold. But if
You mean the thicker one? If you put the thicker one in first, it won't work.
Well, yeah. Put the thinner one in first.
That's what you mean by top or bottom.
No.
Oh.
Put the thinner one in first, and then this one goes on top of it. But you can do it that way, or you can do it that way. Follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And one way, it won't really snap in there. Let me show you.
So you feel it snap in there?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Now see, I just turned it over. Well, now it's going to do it. Yeah, see, now it's, yeah, see, they ain't doing it. Yeah, see, now it's right in there.
Okay.
All right, and when I'm doing that, I try and lube everything with this stuff. Because if nothing else, it's kind of like a gasket, so to speak. So if there was a little bit of air that could go through this, when you use this, it kind of stops that air from going through there. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a little gasket, so to speak. Okay. So, then this piece right here, this right here is that piece right there. All right? And what it does is it goes down into this hole right here, and that's what this slides through. All right? So you've got to lube that up so that it creates that seal in here. You follow me? All right. And the easiest way I found to put these in is something like that. What I'm trying to do is, can you see the edges?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to snap that part right there inside that hole.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't go quite as easy as sometimes. Last time I did it, it just went right in the very first try. All right, see, it's not in there.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You can see how it's in there?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And see how that's starting to pop out a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
That's that nylon thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now that we got that in there, this is what goes through that, and it slides back and forth. And you got to get that lubed up to keep air from going through that between the nylon and that, right? And then I usually lube this thing up too, because that's what, see how that fits down into that first hole, and that's what kind of stops it so that air comes through into this. You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. And then we put that big spring in there. And see how that big spring is big on one end, small on the other. So it's big so that it can press against the nylon, right? Okay. And see how I'm lubing everything as I go? I think it makes a big old difference. Right, and see how the small end fits on that to hold all that in place? See what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Right, now I'm just going to snug it down. I'm not going to try and make it real hard. Okay. And I'm going to lube my needle. My needle goes in there. All right, and then this is where I would put that nylon thing, boom, on that and shove it right in. The needle will help guide it in. You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then once you get the nylon thing in, then this goes in. What this does is it goes in behind the nylon little plunger thing, and you screw it down, and it makes all that spread out so that it keeps air from going out where it's not supposed to go, if you follow what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So then, see, I'm going to put that. And again, I do that because I find it's the easiest way to guide it in there.
Hey man, you usually clear some stuff up out here.
See how I'm in there?
Mm-hmm.
What do you need?
Some of the doors are...
We got the plunger in there, and now we've got this set up. And then you just got to screw it in. See how it goes in? But what that's doing, remember, is it's pressing that nylon plunger in so that it closes up all the gaps, right? And I'm going to tighten it on up. A lot of times, when we go to check out the gun after we put it back together, you might feel air coming from in here. Remember how I told you to lube that and then lube the nylon thing?
Mm-hmm.
That'll stop that. So if you don't lube all that, when you pull the trigger to go check it, you're going to feel air coming out of here. That's what that lube will do for you.
So is that what Nathan?
I think so. So then the spring goes on. And again, I'm lubing. What that does is keeps that needle pressed in so that when we pull the trigger, all this is coming back. Remember, that's going to come back. That's what relieves that to let air go through here. Follow what I'm saying? Okay. All right. Now there's a little nylon piece that goes here. Don't really know what it does, but I'm sure it won't work if you don't have it. So there you go. So that's there. All right. And this goes on just like that. This goes in there. And now this is kind of particular. In other words, you really can't do it like that. Okay? These always have to be up and down. Those top and bottom. So that's how it goes. All right? And then this, can you see the different edges?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that it clicks right down in there so that that smaller piece clicks down inside that. All right. Now you see here how you got 4 holes on the top and 5 holes on the bottom?
Mm-hmm.
That 5th hole on the bottom is what goes on that right there, on that little piece right there. So if you put it on this way, it ain't gonna work. You gotta go that way. And that little piece right there goes on that. It's real important now not to beat all this kind of stuff up, because if you dent, like that's been dented on one and I had to throw it away, and all these parts are high as can be. All right, and there's that. And there's your needle bezel. That's what's going to go over the needle. And that's what holds all this together. And again, you don't have to get down on it and tighten it, you know, you just got to snug it down. Okay. And that goes over that. And again, lube it. And you know the difference between these, this way or this way, don't you? Okay. All right. This right here, everything we do has a cup on the bottom, right? This right here is if you were gravity fed and you had your cup on the top. So we don't have that. But I always take this off and clean it, because you see how paint gets up in there?
Mm-hmm.
So I always take that off so I can clean it. And then lube it. And then put that back on there. We don't use those gravity feed cups, so it doesn't really matter. But that's what it's for. You just snug it down. All right, and then a trigger. And see how that fits in there?
Mm-hmm.
And so you see that's pulling all this back, which shoves all that back, lets you air. Follow what I'm saying? It's all a working thing, so you got to kind of keep that in mind. And then we will lube this. All right. Normally I'd go get, because if I'm rebuilding a gun, these are old and gone. I'd get new one of these and new tubes and all that stuff. But don't have to do all that. All right, now see that's upside down?
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't spray, because air can't push down through here. Nice. Joe's made that mistake a couple of times. No. That's where I have pliers in here. There you go. And then this piece right here just pops right out. That's what that is. When you're cleaning it, you want to clean it all up under there and push it back down. This little thing right here, best I can figure, is just a pressure release valve. You know, like when you get through spraying and you got your, you know, because this is all pressure built up, right? Right. So if you know, when you get through spraying, take your hose off. If you pull your trigger, it'll still spit out because there's pressure built up in here. All right. The way I relieve the pressure is not with that, just by popping it, and it relieves the pressure, and then you can do that. All right, and then when you're through,
I don't know which ones those are.
then when you get done, I always want to check the gun and make sure it's going to spray right before I put it up, so that you don't get in the middle of a job and get paint all in it. And once you get paint all in it, if it ain't working right, you got to clean the gun. But if you're doing it with clean spirits, you don't have to worry about it. Right now, you hear that compressor running? It'll calm down when it's doing is it's building up pressure in here. Alright, when I do that, make sure alright, something ain't right.
Why?
You see how it's wide right there? Your spray pan is wide.
Yeah.
It's going down a little bit narrower, but not real narrow. Follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I bet it's right in there. Pressure. See? So that's what I just listen right there, and you get rid of the pressure.
I'll label them too.
What'd you just do there?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know that I've done anything. Sometimes you don't know what you did to fix it.
Hey, all these birds are the same. Not moving on the stairs. Here. Everything on this carpet is going to be in the side.
Still doing it. I don't know. Yeah, now, see? See how it's now?
You can start these for all orders.
You see how it's wide? Okay. And when I pull the trigger, I don't feel any air in here. So that gun's good to go. That's when I put it up there.